Hi, my name is Gary Morris from Abraham Entertainment. It's been a pleasure working on Shadows of the Shroud, and we'd like to share some of our favorite things about it.
Hi, I'm Robert Brown, a narrative content designer at Abraham Entertainment.
Hello there, I'm Gabriel, game designer at Abraham, and I worked on Shadows of the Shroud.
One of my favorite ways in which we expanded the concept of what it means to have psionic abilities was the introduction of psionic auras. And really what we wanted to achieve here was to allow you to feel like your mind was truly affecting the physical space around you by pulling elements from the Shroud into this one, really creating your own domain in this galaxy where you operate at your highest level of control. And those who enter that space need to be mindful of that.
One of my favorite things that I worked on for Shadows of the Shroud was the Mind Wardens. The Mind Warden's origin is one of 3 origins we're adding to Stellaris. It explores the experience of being the target of a psionic empire, of having your mind invaded. How does that experience cause distress in your society? How does that distress become an obsession, a guiding principle that causes militancy against psionics in your civilization?
The original inspiration for the Mind Wardens was literally people who wear tinfoil hats to block out mind control waves, but ones that actually work, like functional tinfoil hat wearers. And luckily our artists found a better direction than that, but they ended up with some really cool themes of like heavy, thick psionic shielding plated onto massive structures and ships. And yeah, we even made a ship set for them, which I'm biased, but it's my favorite ship set in Stellaris right now.
One of the things we really nailed, I think, is the civics. I like how much replayability they had, and the fact that they're a small thing, but they really just can enable some roleplay. And really, out of all of them, I'd have to go with secret societies, and maybe more specifically, proxy wars. Proxy wars are a new diplomatic action that allows you to influence empires, manipulate them, make them go to war with each other. And I really think that it just opens a lot of opportunities for emergent storytelling.
We've added new content about the different patrons in the Shroud. It's something that adds to the lore, something which adds to players' experience of interacting with those entities. We've also added one new patron entirely, called the Cradle of Souls. This is a new domain in the Shroud. This is an entity which is associated with peace, diplomacy, and with harmony between different empires.
The way we reworked patrons, I think, really improves on the experience. With some patrons being opposed to others, they now have this different feel to them, where they have like specific demands and things they want from you. And as you accomplish these demands, you get closer and closer to these patrons, and you really feel like you're deepening your pact, like your empire is getting shaped by these patrons. One of the new features we're adding with the Psionic Ascension is the ability for you to kind of find your own way into the Shroud and forge your own path. By forging your own path, you basically get to still explore the Shroud and get powers from it, draw power from the psionic energy, without actually having to make a pact or bind yourself and your empire to one of the patrons.
I also had a great time working on our general overhaul of Psionic Ascension. Psionic Ascension now involves a situation which includes a lot of interesting events about the impact of psionics on your society, also about just strange occurrences related to breaching the Shroud, all of the bizarre and freaky stuff that happens when you pierce the veil into the psionic realm. I hope you have fun playing it, and yeah, see you in the Shroud.
I can't wait to see the stories you'll tell and the broken builds you'll probably make.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to Stellaris Official so you don't miss any news about delving into all things Shroud related.